Hi, my name's Holly, and I am making a booktube channel because I want to. And I actually thought long and hard while at work yesterday about why I want to do this. And because every time I go to start it, I think, yeah, but I could spend this time just reading, and then I stop doing what I'm doing. And I just pick up a book and read, or I more than likely procrastinate and end up on Netflix or Tumblr or something not reading. I don't do anything creative. And I want to make time to do something creative. I don't want to look back 20 years from now and realize I haven't done anything. And I've tried, like sometimes I'll pick up little projects, I'll do that, but I want a long-term ongoing project. And I want to be more than just a passive consumer of media. And I don't mind, for myself, passively consuming, say, television or movies or something, because I think you need a break. I don't think you can actively engage with every piece of media you consume, or you're just going to exhaust yourself. And some people enjoy doing that, and that's for them. Personally, I like a break every now and then. My goal is actually to watch less TV and less movies, less binging. So I want to save that as a passive, once-in-a-while thing. And I want to read more, and I want to engage with the media that I'm reading. So I feel like making YouTube videos, talking about books, is killing two birds with one stone. I am doing something vaguely creative, I am making something, and I'm also pushing myself to engage more with my reading. I also want to use this channel, like some people make booktube channels and they're all about reviewing books and being that voice of sort of critically looking at a book and trying to explain to people why they should or should not read it, or why they may or may not like it. And other booktubers are a little more lifestyle casual. We get to see a lot of vlogs, we get to see what they're doing. I love watching people's reading vlogs. My booktube channel, I really just like tracking my reading. So while I want to engage with what I'm reading, I want to talk about and just take a few minutes to think about what I've read, not just mindlessly consume it and move on to the next thing. I like tracking my reading. I track my reading on Goodreads, but more, I track my reading, and sometimes, although I'm not very good at it, at keeping up with it, my general reactions to stuff in a little notebook. This is actually the second one I've started. I got this one from my boyfriend for Christmas last year. I think it was Christmas. So I track my series, I track my physical TBR pile, and I just keep a log of what I'm reading when I finish it, and I sort of wrap it up by month. But sometimes it just reads like, this date, finished this book, started this book, and I don't do anything to engage with it. And writing too much, as much as I love doing it, genuinely hurts my wrists from years of school, I guess. And so I tend not to write as much as I'd like to. And therefore I don't engage with the book as much as I want to. And I just want to have somewhere to put my thoughts, even if I'm just dumping it and no one ever watches it. At least for me, I am content with that level of engagement. And if I have some ideas for other videos that are slightly different from what other booktubers do. And I'm curious if I can build up enough of a habit of doing this that I might actually stop being lazy and put the effort into making these more project-based, like intensive project-based videos that I'm really intrigued to delve into. And so this video is just an introduction for myself to just finally sit down in front of the camera and film. And I just want to talk about books. So to actually have this video talk about books, right now I am currently kind of reading 3 books. I am listening to, so I don't have anything to hold up, the audiobook for the Loki book, I think it's just called Loki, by Mackenzie Lee. And when I first started the book, I had no interest in reading it. I loved the Marvel movies for a time, and I've grown quite bored with them since before the Infinity War thing. But when I found out that Mackenzie Lee was writing it, I was intrigued, and then it popped up in my library as an available audiobook, and I'm like, hey, yes, please. So I'm listening to that, and I'm really enjoying it. I feel like Mackenzie Lee, who is the author of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, I loved that book. I loved the voices and the time period, and I did a course where I read a lot of like 1700s travel novels and stories and stuff, and I feel like all of that course, all that suffering I endured reading all of those horribly dry books, personally, really actually made me enjoy that book even more. But anyways, so when I found out that Mackenzie Lee was writing this book, I was like, Mackenzie Lee, I think, will be the kind of voice that could really make Loki an interesting character to read. Like, I feel like there could be authors that would be afraid to push boundaries, and Mackenzie Lee isn't. Just based off that one book that I've read and some of the videos I've seen of hers. And so I was really intrigued, and so far I'm right. She's pushing the envelope in little ways, different gender things, different comments and sassiness, and I really, really appreciate it so far. I'm also reading The Serpent King by, I don't think I said that right, The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. I had seen this one around and the cover had really intrigued me, and I never fully actually looked into what it was about, but I got it for super cheap somewhere. I think it was on a discount shelf. And it's about basically following 3 teenagers in their last year of high school in a pretty small town in the southern states. And the one, or character that sort of seems to be the center, despite the 3 perspectives, his father was a preacher for a Pentecostal, I want to say, but for a sort of fringe Christian group that handles poisonous snakes and drinks poison based off of one tenuous verse from the Bible, and sort of follows the fallout from him being arrested for something else, and how they're navigating their last year of school and what it means for them to be moving on or not being able to move on. And I was nervous at first that it was reading like Moody Boy has Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but then because I thought it was all from his perspective, found out we get her perspective, we get their other friend's perspective, and I really, like, I don't know, maybe 50 pages in, and there's already a lot of commentary about class and wealth and poverty and what that means and the privileges that each one has, and it's so stark and in your face, and I'm really enjoying that so far, and I'm liking the voices of the characters the more we get to know them, and I'm curious to see where this book goes. Like, I truly don't fully know where it's going to go. I'm just following it along. And then the third book I am reading, it's a reread for me, and it's been a very slow going process because we just do it when we feel like it, but I'm reading it to my boyfriend out loud, usually like a chapter at a time here or there, and it's the third Magnus Chase book by Rick Riordan. I think it's called The Ship of the Dead. And I loved the Magnus Chase series so much, so I'm decided to force him to enjoy it with me. He likes Rick Riordan, he likes the Percy Jackson especially, and the Heroes of Olympus, and he never delved into either the Kane Chronicles and Magnus Chase, and so I decided to make him enjoy Magnus Chase with me, and from what I have been told, he is enjoying them, but I think mostly he just likes that I'm reading to him. And so that's what I'm reading right now. That's it. I am going to try and structure my videos more in the future. Thank you.